Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jael and I am so excited for today's word. We are going to be reading Mark chapter 4 verse 37 through 41, and I'm gonna start reading right away. I'm gonna jump right into it because I have a lot to say and I have very little time. It says, a great windstorm arose and the waves were breaking over the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. He, which is Jesus, was in the stern sleeping on a cushion. So they woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to die?" He got up, he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Silence, be still." The wind ceased and there was a great calm. Then he said to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And they were terrified and asked one another, "Who then is this? Even the wind and the sea obey him." And a little context is that verse 35 and 36 talks about how Jesus actually told them to take him from point A to B. So they were obedient to Jesus. They weren't obedient. They weren't disobedient. They didn't find themselves in that storm because they weren't listening to Jesus. They actually listened to Jesus and got into that storm. And I think that's so important to us because sometimes in life we find ourselves drowning. We find ourselves in obstacles. We find ourselves overwhelmed. If it's financially, if it's emotionally, it's physically, whatever it is, which is the windstorm in the story. The boat is us. The boat is you. The boat is me. It's both of us. So sometimes the problems are overwhelming us and we're drowning. Our boat is sinking, and the funniest thing is that Jesus is there just relaxing on a cushion. He's just waiting for us to call out to him and say, "Teacher, teacher, like, are you there? Can you help me?" And it's so funny that we find ourselves drowning in the midst of the obedience. So we might even think that, hey, what did I do wrong? Hey, did I make the wrong choice? Was I really listening to the Holy Spirit? Did I really hear Jesus telling me to do this, do that? Yeah. It could literally be that you're making the correct choices. You're making the right choices, but sometimes God has to put us through not sometimes, God always has to put us in a difficult position to help us grow and process. It's called the process. So you're not going to become a better person. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get closer to Christ. You're not going to become like Christ. You're not going to be the bride and he's going to be the church if you're not going to go through construction, through a building, through a process. And that process is going to hurt. But what we have to do is obey, understand that God has control, and also just trust God. We can't lose faith. We have to trust God because God knows exactly why he's putting you in the storm. He knows exactly why he's putting me in the storm. There's absolutely no reason for us not to trust him. And let me see what else I have. Oh, well, the reason that we have to trust him, I think the biggest reason, obviously we're being processed, there's different things coming out of us, but it's for us to rely on him no matter what. It's for us to rely on God no matter what we're passing through, no matter who told us we made the wrong decision, no matter what. We understand that our source is the Lord. If I was an Apple iPhone, my plug is God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's who I have to lean on no matter what. And yeah, God will never leave us. Everything must bow to his voice. And yeah, I also wrote, sometimes when we're being processed, we forget that the Potiphar shaping us, he has the authority to calm the storms. The Potiphar is Jesus. He's molding us. So don't think that this walk with God is going to be easy, but understand that at the end of the day, there is a light and God is going to be there to hold us down, to help us out. And even though it's not easy, it's because, remember, like I've said before, uncomfortability equals growth. So I'm so happy I was able to talk to you guys this morning, and I look a little crusty. But I have to go to work. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and please comment below if you have any inputs, if you have anything to say. And remember, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook. You could always hit me up if you ever want to talk. I'll give you my number. I don't mind. So Egghead says goodbye. I love you guys.